Hi, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nelson Croque, and this is a fabulous program called Imapp. A lot of features that we are going to be covering. And the first place is, how do I get to? You definitely want to go into miamirealtors.com. This will be a beautiful website. And once you're into miamirealtors.com, you will click on Miami Gateway. So it will allow you to put in your public and private ID. Once you have put in your public and private ID, it will definitely take you to our beautiful dashboard. This is our program, which is called Imapp. And one of the easiest programs to use when you're doing a CMA. So I am going to click on Imapp, and the program will open, and it will give me a screen. And you're going to notice that if this is the first time you're looking at this program, the program is divided into three parts. There is a tab called Tax Search, which is the one that you are going to be using, I would say, 89% of the time. Then there's another tab called Mls Search. And usually people don't know that this program has beautiful features. For example, if you're new and nobody knows you, nobody knows your telephone number, this particular program will allow you to look for Expire listings. And they guarantee you nobody has gone after those particular properties. And in a few minutes, I'll show you how to work with that. But it will allow you to send a letter to these people who try to sell their particular home, but it didn't work out. So this is kind of nice to know that you don't have to push the person to sell the property. They already tried it, but their listing has expired, but the office never went back to get that contract again. The other one over here is called Foreclosure. There are a lot of people that know how to play with foreclosure, but there is something simple. It's called list pendant. And people who are under list pendant, they either have a problem with the bank. If you have not paid your mortgage in more than 5 months, you are going to receive a letter from a bank. And that letter is called the list pendant letter. And the program will allow you to find properties that the bank is going to be taking away, but you are actually there to actually talk to the owner to see if they would like to put it as a short sale. The other one over here is this program. In the old days, we could only search in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach, but anytime you're in the Tax Search tab, to your right where it says Search Area, you are now able to search in the entire state. So if you know how to do a competitive market analysis on a property in Dade County, you can do the same thing in Orlando. All you needed to know was the city, and once you select the city, it will allow you to put in that address, and you can do a beautiful CMA. The other one is the bottom part. You're going to notice that the program has a huge map in the bottom. I usually tell people, don't click on the map. The program has something on the right called Complete Map Area. And every time you click in that bar, it will allow you to tell the program where would you like to focus in a particular part of the map. And the map works with the county that you're working at the top. So if you're ever going to Broward and you're looking at Broward County, you'll notice that the map in the bottom has changed. And if you click on Complete Map Area, it will allow you to select where would you like me to take you in that map, which is kind of cool. I'm going to put it back again to Miami-Dade County. Everything is in alphabetical order. The program also has search fields, and it also has an operator. The operator is called search type. But anytime you click in the operator, this is the person that tells the program if you want greater than something, or you want less than something, or you want equal, but it does not have the word between. No matter which one of these you select, you will never see the word between. And sometimes you may say, I'm looking for a home that has 3 or 4 bedroom. Well, the person who created this gave you this little button on the left-hand side called OR. In a few minutes, I'll show you how to use OR, but that is the one that allows you to look for between. Also, you're going to notice that any program that you get into should have a place that allows you to show you how to work with it. Well, that information is at the bottom of your screen. The first thing I'm going to show you is tax data ability. Whenever you want to know when was the last time new information was introduced to this beautiful program, all you got to do is click where it says tax data ability. The program will then take you to another screen, and in that particular screen, you will notice that every Friday, they do an update. And they go to the Dade County Courthouse, they go to the Broward Courthouse, they go to the Palm Beach Courthouse, but every Friday they add a new listing. And as you can see, also foreclosures are done every Friday. So when the association checks this all out, and they saw that these company, Imapp, was up to date every Friday, 99% of the time, people who add a listing into our MLS system will go to Imapp. Anytime you need a brochure or you need a book or a manual to explain how to work with the program, they have given you that information in the bottom. It's called User Guide. Anytime you click on User Guide, it will enable you to go in to a particular screen, and it will show you a telephone number. So if you need any information or you're lost or you would like to have some help, there is a telephone number here, which is 888-462-7701, and you can actually call to Imapp. As you keep scrolling down, the program is very, very big, and I would not suggest to print this because it's very huge, but it will show you an index where you may want to go to find out some information about the program. And if you keep going down, you're going to notice that this particular program is unique. Anytime that you give it an address of any property, it will show it to you on a map. But when it shows it to you on a map, it has to show you if other realtors have touched a property close to yours. So they provide you with little flags, and all these particular flags have a color. So if you're ever looking at a green flag, that particular property is available for sale. If you see a blue flag, it has 2 jobs. One, it will tell you if the property was rented, and the other one was the property sold. But the greatest thing is whenever you're really in the program, all you have to do is point with your mouse to that flag, and it will give you the information you're requesting. In the bottom, you're going to notice that there is one in red. That means there was a contract, but that listing was canceled. And if you ever see one with an X in the middle, that listing had a contract, but expired. And if you see yellow, which is very nice received, yellow means somebody's putting a deposit to buy that particular property. So all these flags you will see in a few minutes when I show you how to work with the program. Again, from here, you're going to notice that I am going to go right back again to the program. And as I go back to the program, give me a few seconds. And I'm going to click on New Search. It will now take me back to the program. The first thing people need to know is, how do I say I'm looking for a house or a building or a piece of vacant land? And again, over here, you'll notice that there is a word called property use code. Anytime that you are looking for any type of property, this is the one that you should go into. And as long as you go to the right-hand side, it will provide you with a list of every known type of property. So anytime you're looking for a particular property, this is where you want to go, which is called property use code. Also, when somebody searches with this particular program for the very first time, you're going to notice that a lot of people think that all this is what you have. These are all your search field until you click. As soon as you click on any one of them, it will give you an endless amount of information in alphabetical order. So it does not matter which one of these you click on, it will provide you the same list. I am now going to show you how to find a house and a particular zip code that has 3 or 4 bedrooms. For me to do that, I make sure that I'm in the right county, which is Miami-Dade County, and I am going to go to my zip code where I live, and I am going to tell the program that I need to look for single families in my zip code, but they must have from 3 to 4 bedrooms. To do this, I click first where it says property use code on the right, and it will allow me to select single family. Once I do that, instead of leaving that list available, why don't you click on the right to close that list? And he now knows you're looking for single family. But if you don't tell me where to go, he thinks you want all of Miami-Dade. So there is a field to your left in the search field called property zip code. I'm going to go to the right, and when I do that, I'm going to put a zip code, 33012. That is my zip code. Now he understands that I'm looking for single family in that zip code. I'm looking for 3 or 4 bedroom when there is no word on the left that says bedroom. I'm going to click on one of these fields, and once I do that, it will give you a list in alphabetical order. So I move my little bar, and I look for the word bedroom. Once I select it, the operator is very important, because if you leave it with the word greater than, no matter what number you put to the right, it will always give you greater than that number. So common sense, you definitely want to say equal to. So it will allow you to put a number 3 on the other end. But how do you say I want 3 or 4? And here comes the unique thing about this program. Why did they give you these little or buttons? The answer is you have to repeat the word that you're working with. For example, bedroom. All you have to do is click right below it. And as soon as you click right below it, find the same word again, bedroom. Notice how the word is one below the other, and guess what? That's when you put the little dot where it says or. Should I leave the operator with the word greater than? I hope not. I hope you change it to equal. Now the program understood that you're looking for a house in that particular zip code that has 3 or 4 bedrooms. This is not that difficult, but this is kind of unique. If I wanted to look for 3, 4, or 5 bedrooms, all you have to do is repeat the word bedroom again and put another little dot. So the operator with the word work in unison. I am now going to say start to look for this information, and that word is in the bottom of the screen called Start Search. And I am going to click there. Immediately, the system will now react and show me how many properties it found for me in that particular zip code that had 3 or 4 bedrooms. And the information is right at the top. You have over 5,000. Is there a number that this program Imapp can reach to the max? And the answer is yes, it is 5,000. You will never see 6, 7, or 8, or 9,000, but that's it. That's the maximum it can go. Every one of these particular property, if you look close, there is a word called bedroom. And you will see a 3 or you will see a 4, but you will never see any other number. It can only give you properties in that zip code that have 3 or 4 bedrooms. Then all of a sudden you start scrolling using your wheel on your mouse, and as you're going through the list, you start noticing that on the left-hand side of the screen, there is a flag that appears. And this particular flag is green. That means that home was already taken by a real estate office and is right now currently available for sale in the MLS. But if I point to it, it will give you a little box. And on that little box, it will tell you the price that they're asking and the date when that particular listing was happening. Anytime you want to open a particular property in this list, this is very simple. Everything is dark except one field, which is called the PID, the property ID, also known as folio number. When you click on the folio number, it will open that particular property for you. And all of a sudden, it will show you a map. This particular map can be controlled by you because there is a little box to your right that is in white. And when you click on that little white box, it will give you choices. How would you like to see your map? Which is the best one? Aerial photo. Aerial photo is the one that I use all the time. It will give you a better view of all. And also, the map has the ability for you to focus or get away from that particular screen. That's why you have these little buttons down here at the bottom called map settings. Where should you have them all the time? In the center. The center button is the one that makes more sense. If I ever wanted to know, does that property I'm looking at need flood insurance? Well, this is where people click on that little white box. And as you click, there is one called flood zone. If you click on it, it will give you a different screen. But as long as your property is in the green area, you do not need flood insurance. But if your property is in the red, what do you think you need? You need a boat. To put it back, all I got to do is click again on that little white box and put it back to aerial photo. What's another unique thing about this particular program? This is the program that will tell you what are the schools that any property is going to go to. By me looking at this particular screen and noticing where the property is on my map, all I have to do is scroll down, and you're going to notice that pretty soon you will see assigned schools. And you can do this with any property in the MLS. Anytime you take a property from the MLS and you go into Imapp, it will show you what the schools are. So it will give you the elementary school, it will give you the middle school, it will give you the high school. And if you ever would like to send this information to a client, it doesn't take you too long, because here it is. It's called email. You can send this to any client. How do you go back to the list where you were working with a few seconds ago? Well, get used to this word, search result. Anytime you click on search result, it always takes you back to the list. And as you're going through the list, it will show you the property. Now, This is something unique about this system. The gentleman who wrote this particular program gives you some options, and these options are at the top of your screen. There is a bar at the top of your screen that if you ever click on that bar, look how many different ways you have to talk to the program. If I wanted to see all the active listings of these particular 5,000 properties, so they can put it at the top of my list, so I don't have to go using my wheel to go through the entire program. That one is called Mls Status Ascending. Mls Status Ascending will always put every property that was touched by a realtor at the top of your screen. This is beautiful when you are in a condo. You can go to any condo, click on that bar, and select Mls Status Ascending, and it will tell you how many active listings are now in that particular building, which is kind of cool. Also, how do you go back to the actual screen where you started to search? Don't hit the back arrow. Hitting the back arrow will take you back, but it erases everything you did. You need to select something called Refine This Search. As you click on Refine This Search, it always takes you back to the original screen, but it did never erase anything. If I wanted to clear the screen to start new, that word is right here. It's called Reset to Default. That is the one you can click on, and it will erase everything. Back in the 1990s, that's when I started in real estate. I was not that great of a person to work with because I didn't have internet at that moment. I had to work with an MLS book. But imagine if somebody were to give you a particular listing in a condo. This particular program will show you who is renting any place you go. I don't care what condo you go to or subdivision, this program will show you who is renting there that had no idea that in a particular floor, your unit would be available. Let me show you how to work with that. I went to a condo back in the 90s called Grove Isles. For me to type in the word Grove Isle, you have to have a search field that allows you to do that. Well, that field is called subdivision. But if you came new to this program, not too many people know what the word select indicates. And this is not the one you're looking for, because if you leave it with the word select on your right-hand side of the screen, it will never allow you to type in the one that you want. It will allow you to say, hey, with what letter does this particular condo name begins with? I rather tell you to click on the word subdivision. When you click on the word subdivision, he gives you a list to play with. And if you go all the way down to the bottom, you will see the one you really want called subdivision input. Input is the one that likes you to write. As you click over here, I'm going to go to the right-hand side of my screen, and I'm going to put Grove Isle. Once you put in Grove Isle, this is a tax roll. It has to give you all the units in that particular complex. I am going to click in the bottom where it says Start to Search, and again, it will show me how many units there are in that particular complex. And I have 495. Every time somebody says, so Nelson, if you have a unit in that building, How do you know who is renting in that complex that could be very interested in your unit? Well, that happened to me. My unit was 1408. I wanted to sell that particular unit so bad, but I did not have this program back in the 90s. But watch what I can do to find out from this complex, who am I going to send a letter to? And here we go. How do I go back without killing myself? That word is always refine this search. And I'm going to click on it. As he takes you back to your original screen, how do I find people who are renting anywhere? All you got to do is click on any one of the items. As long as you don't click on subdivision to destroy where you were, you can click on any other. I'm going to click on sale date just for the heck of it. And when you do that, look for a word called owner. As you're looking, you're going to notice that there are a lot of them begin with the word owner. But there's only one in that list that makes sense. It's called owner occupied. And I'm going to click on that one. And immediately you took out what was there before, and you're now in a field called owner occupied. Well, if you notice to your right-hand side of the screen, there is a bar with a drop-down arrow in it. You need to click on that bar. And here comes your answer. Yes or no. A lot of people that look at that, they go, what do I do? Well, would you like to know if the owner lives there or not? And the correct answer is always no. I do not want the actual owner to live there. So now, common sense, he has to take you back to Grove Isle, but he can only give you units where the owners live in New York, Chicago, Venezuela, Texas, Bahamas. They take them completely out of the state. And when I click in the bottom where it says Start Search, it will now show me how many units I'm going to be sending a letter to. You will notice that I have 132 units where the actual owners don't live there. They live in another state. But I do not want to send a letter to the owner. I want to send a letter to that unit number because somebody in that unit number is leasing or renting it and had no idea that all they had to do was get on that elevator and go to 1408. This is powerful stuff. Not too many people know that they can do this. I am now going to tell you how to send a letter to the unit numbers. To do this, you'll notice to the right-hand side of the screen, you have a word, create mailing label. All you got to do is click on that particular option and look how the screen changes. Anytime you're looking at this particular screen, you'll notice that the system always defaults you to the one that says owner address. If you leave it, you know your letter is not going to be going to that unit number. It's going to be going to New York, Chicago, or Texas. And I don't want to do that. So the answer is occupant. As soon as you click on the occupant button, that's the one that will send the letter to the actual unit number where the owners do not live. But sending a letter to the system, you're never going to see the name of a person who's renting on a label. It will never happen. What it will give you is the name of the owner or the name of the corporation who owns it. And I do not want that to happen. If you ever send a letter of a real estate office with the name of the actual owner on the label, lots of times they just destroy it because it does not belong to them and they basically don't want to move. So what I'm showing you is something unique. Put a check mark on this little box called Replace First Line. You have now taken out the name of the owner. and you cannot leave it with nothing in it. That's why they give you a drop-down arrow on the other side. Once you click, notice how it gives you different options to select, and these are the options that you can click on to replace the name of the owner. Usually a lot of people go for this one, current resident. They want to be so precise. But which one is the best one? Future homeowner. That is the one that a lot of people select. It makes more sense than the current resident. Even the post office loves this one. So I'm going to click on future homeowner. The system now has a name to use instead of having no name at all. As you keep scrolling down, you're going to notice that everybody who sends letters has to have labels. Well, here in this particular program, you never have to worry about what label should I select. You'll notice that the label is already highlighted for you. Avery 5160 are the labels that we have been using for over 19 years. They come 30 to a page. So you never have to select anything. That will be your default. As you keep going down, you're going to notice that some people will look at the left-hand side of the screen and they will see something called Create Labels in Word format. Anytime somebody says Mail Merge, Nelson, I already have a letter in my computer, but I would like to connect it with the address. That is where people go to create a mail merge. I don't teach that, but that will be the place that people put a dot. So when you say generate label, it will send it to your hard drive in the Word. The other one, fine-tune page position. And you also have create label as text file. And people say, what is that for? There are times where people do not know how to create labels. So what do? They put a dot in that one that says create labels as text file. But when you click on generate label, it will allow you to tell the program what email to send it to. And that email would be a company that will do the labels for you. But in this particular class, we have put our labels in our printer, and he's waiting for you to click where it says generate labels as PDF. And I'm going to do that. As I do that, you're going to notice that the screen changes, but the labels are waiting for me on the bottom left. And as I click on the bottom left of my screen, behold, these are my labels right here. And as you can see, the labels all have a unit number. And these are the unit numbers where the owners do not live. So it's up to you to send them a letter and say, hi, this is so-and-so. Why continue paying rent when in 1408, which is in the same complex, all you got to do is get on that elevator. Different ways to approach this. But the answer is, this is one of the easiest ways to push the sale of one of your units that you are trying to sell. And if I can do this in Grove Isle, I can do this in any condo I wish. But the key word was owner occupied, equal to no. That is the one that will always tell you who is renting anywhere. Again, I'm going to go back. So I'm going to click on my mailing labels X over here. And now somebody will say to me, Nelson, how do I know where the actual owners live? Anytime you want to do that, I hit my back arrow, and the system will now take me back to the original screen where I started the label, and I'm going to click on owner address. As I do that, should I leave this check mark on this box? Because if you do, you will never see the actual name of the owner appear on your label. So please take that check mark out. Should I leave future homeowner? I hope not. All you got to do is click on that bar and select anything that is empty, and that field will be clean for you. Should I have to select a different label? The answer is no. It's always the same label. But if I ever click on Generate Labels at PDF, the labels are waiting for me in the bottom left, and when I click there, behold, look where the actual owners live. This person lives in Mexico. I got another person who lives in Panama, Bahamas, Chile, Spain, France, Puerto Rico, and the rest are in the United States. Did you know that you can also send a letter to those owners to see if they would like to sell the unit or lease the unit? That's kind of interesting. I love this particular program. Again, I'm going to click at the top where the mailing labels are, and I am now going to say New Search, and I'm going to click right there. This next item that I'm about to show you is so interesting. You have a listing. It's a single family, and it's been in the MLS for 2 or 3 months, and yet no bites. Nobody has called you, and you get nervous, because the owner is going to continue calling you. So look at the unique thing that you can do with this program called Imapp. I am going to come down to my map, and I have an address. This particular address is the property that I am trying to sell in the MLS. It's a beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single-family home, and it's FHA approved. FHA approved. So what can I do with this program to push the sale of that particular property? Well, watch me work. I am going to go to the map, and I'm going to click on this little bar, so it will ask me, where would you like me to take you in that map? And since my house that I'm trying to sell is in Hialeah, I'm going to go and click on Hialeah. Immediately when I do that, the system now gives you a map of everything in all of Hialeah. But my property is not in all of Hialeah. I have a zip code that I would like to work with. So what I tell people to do is to put themselves on the right side of the screen where there is no map. Move the wheel on your mouse so you can move the map down, and this little box appears at the top. And it says, Find on Map. I'm going to click in that little box, and the zip code of this property is 33012. That is the zip code where my property that I'm trying to sell is in. I am now going to click anywhere in the white area, and as soon as I do that, the system will ask me, Nelson, would you like me to change the map and only give you a map where properties are only in this zip code of yours? And I go, oh yeah, because that is the easy way to find the actual address that I want to work with. So I'm going to click on that zip code. Immediately, the map changes. And here is where my house is on West 50th Place, and it's the fourth one from the corner. I am going to create a half-a-mile circle around my address. And people say, okay, how do you do that? That is done up here. You will notice that you have a circle on the top left. If you ever click with your left clicker one time, let go of your left clicker and move into the map. You're going to notice that the map now has a little crosshair moving because it's making the movement of my mouse. I'm now going to go to West 50th Place, hold my left clicker down, and as I move, there is a white box that just happens to appear on the top left side corner of the map. as you move the circle, because you're moving your mouse, the numbers are changing in that particular box. And what am I looking for? A half a mile. What is a half a mile? 0.50. So give me a second and I will find 0.50 on that box. Once I let go of my mouse, this is where the program says, hey Nelson, would you like to confirm your selection? Did you know that there's another way of doing this if this is too difficult for you to do? I'm going to click right here where it says start over. And this is a much easier way. See the word custom radius? All you had to do is click and it will give you a list of choices. And this is the one that makes sense, half a mile. All you got to do is click with your left clicker, let go of your left clicker and move your mouse. As you do that, that circle will follow the movement of your mouse. And all you got to do is go to West 50th place. And when you're right there, click with your left clicker one time. And the system will now allow you to see that circle for real when you say confirm selection. And when you do that, watch how he takes you back to the original screen, but he now knows you're looking for something that is a half a mile from your home. Now, what is that thing that I'm looking for? I'm not looking for no gas stations or McDonald's. I'm looking for single family home that the owners do not live there. And if the owner does not live there, this is a house that's being rented. Can you rent a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home for $600 a month? Not today and not tomorrow. But you can actually rent it for $2,400 or $2,500. So why continue paying mortgage for somebody when 3 blocks from where you are renting, which I'm going to send you a letter, there's a beautiful home waiting for you, 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, that's FHA approved. Boy, this is an easy way to look for people who are renting a house but had no idea that 3 blocks away from where they're renting a beautiful home is very close. So now, sir, how do you tell the program you're looking for people who are renting a house 3 blocks from yours? Well, the answer is property use code. You got to click on the right so he has an idea that you're looking for a single family. And I'm going to click on it. As I do that, I always click outside, so he now knows I'm looking for single family. But I don't just want any single family. I want homes that the owners do not live there. That's why owner occupied is the key word. So I'm going to click on any one of these items. It doesn't matter which one. They all give you a list. And all you got to do is look for that word, owner occupied. And there she is, owner occupied. And anytime you select that one, notice that there's always a bar to the right that you have to say, what? No, I do not want the owners living in that house. Look how many people I have found to send a letter to that might be interested on this single family that people are not calling me on or nobody's paying attention. But look how many people I have to send a letter to. I'm now going to say start search. Look at this. I have 99 properties that I am going to send a letter. And you don't just send a letter. You send your listing. You make a copy of it. And if that listing of yours is FHA approved, I would suggest to take a magic marker, circle that, and put it in the letter to let that person know why continue paying rent when you can pay less than what you are paying rent, and it's only 3 blocks away. And this one, my friend, is FHA approved. Imagine paying $2,400 every month. When do you have the time to save money to get that dream home of yours. You are paying somebody else's mortgage. So this particular program allows me to actually do this. If I wanted to send a letter to these 99 people, all I had to do was say, create mailing label. As I do that, always remember, don't send it to the owner address. Always send it to the occupant. That means you want the letter to go to the address where they're renting, not to where the owners live. And every time you select occupant, I hope you put a check mark on this box that says replace first line. And the best one to replace what is called future homeowner. And again, the same process. You never have to select what the label is. It's already giving it to you. And again, from here, I say generate labels as PDF. And you're going to notice that right off, it gives you the labels all the way to the bottom left side corner of your screen. And when I click there, this is where I am sending a letter to. And all these people are actually renting a house a few blocks from where you are selling a home. This is a nice program to work with. I'm going to now click here at the top and close the mailing label. I am now going to say new, and let me show you another part of this particular program that's kind of cool. There are moments that you get into a business, but you're new, so nobody knows you, nobody's going to call you, and all you want to do is get a listing, get a contract. So the people from Imapp created a program that allows you to look for listings that have just expired in the MLS, but they guarantee you nobody has touched those particular properties yet. So I am going to click on my Mls Search, and behold, the screen changes. And now you're no longer in the tax row. You are now in the MLS. As you can see, to the right side of your screen, there are 3 drop-down arrows. So you need to click on the first drop-down arrow so the system understands what you are looking for. And if you look at that list, there's only one in that list that makes sense. It's called Expire, not Relisted. This is the one that will guarantee you that they will never give you a property that somebody already put back in the MLS and is available. He will check the MLS for you and only give you the ones that are still expired. So this is a beautiful program to work with. I'm going to click on that one. Now that you have established that you are looking for expired, not relisted, he has no clue how you work. So there's another drop-down arrow that they give you. I'm going to click on that. Now they give you a list of different types of property. If you are brand new, are you going to go after commercial? Are you going to go after business opportunity? I don't think so. What you are looking for is something simple. And people say, what is simple? Well, simple is single family is simple. What is simple? Condo and Coba are simple. But you notice how one is way up here on the top and the other one's way down here at the bottom? The program will never allow you to select both of them at the same time. But I do want to work with condos and I do want to work with single family. So watch me work. I click first on single family and the list closes. I now go to my left hand side of the screen, and this is where you see property type. The word is property type. All you got to do is repeat that word, and I will allow you to select condo right over here. Okay, how do I do that? You go right below the word property type, and you click. He now gives you a list to select from. All you got to do is move your little bar until you see the word you're looking for, property type. See how the same word is one above the other? And this is where you put a little dot where it says what? Or. So that or button works immediately. As soon as you repeat the same word, you can put a little dot, and behold, here it is on your right side. A box has just appeared where you can click and say, hey, let me have my condo and Coba. And the system will allow you to look for listings that have expire that happens to be single, condo, or Coba. If I wanted to have another one at any time, all I had to do is repeat the same word, property type, put a little dot, and you can select another type of property. Now, as we all know, when you play in the MLS for us is always Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach. Maybe you don't drive to Palm Beach every day, but I would like to look for properties close to where I live. So there is a word to your left that says city. I'm going to click on my right-hand side and look how the system gives you a list of all the cities. And everything in this list is in alphabetical order. All you got to do is keep scrolling down, and I am going to go to Miami. And once I find Miami, I'm going to click on it. Notice how the list closes. What would happen if I wanted Coral Gable? What would happen if I wanted Miami Lake? All you had to do was repeat the word city, one below the other, put a little dot, and you could have gone to Coral Gable. But right now, I'm just going to focus on Miami. I want to know how many properties expire in Miami that has to do with single, condo, and Coba. The problem with this theory is that if you ever say start search, the system will take you back 6 years, not 6 months, 6 years. So you definitely want to control time. I would like to go back a month. I would like to go back a week. You got to know how to control time. How do you do that? I'm going to click right here where it says year built. And when I do that, it will give me a list of items to work with. Look for something that makes sense. It's called expire date. As soon as you click on expire date, notice how you have a calendar to the right that you did not have before. And when you click there, notice how the calendar appears in June because we are in June. I could have started from June 1st, but let's say I wanted to go back to May. And I wanted to start from May 1st forward. See how the operator is already saying that? Greater than means start from this time period forward. So now he is going to give you the listing that have expired that nobody has touched that has to do with single, condo, and co-op in Miami from this time period forward. I am now going to say start search and look how many properties I found with this particular search. In a few seconds, he will now go into the MLS and bring back only the properties that have expired. You will never see a property in here that's already active in the MLS. So you never waste your time. But it found 365. That's too many. And I'm only interested in not that much. I'm never going to send out 365 letters, But the answer is when you came to the business, that you came in because you liked it or you came in to make money. I'm very sure it is to make money. So how do you tell the program that you're only interested in those that will give you money? Let me show it to you. I'm going to go back to my search screen. That word is called refine this search so I can narrow this number down. The first thing is there are two ways to do that. See how there's a field called list price? That you know that you can go to the right-hand side and say, hey, give me anything that expired that is $700,000 or greater. That is one way. The other way is bedroom. That you know that I can go to the right-hand side and put the number 5, and he's only going to look for properties that are 5-bedroom. And have you ever seen a 5-bedroom home in Dade County for $150,000? I don't think so. But look how many properties I narrow it down to. But look at the prices on these homes when you say start search. Now I have 20. If you look at my list, I have one for $3,250,000. I have another one for $1,500,000. I got another one for $1,750,000. Why am I saying that? Because every property has a check mark to the left. You could have taken out the ones that you not care for and only leave the one with the highest price. Because if you do that, and all you had to do was say create mailing labels, and you could actually send a letter to that particular person that nobody went back for. And usually somebody will say to me, what type of a letter would you begin with something like that? The answer is very simple. The bedroom. Hi, this is Nelson from ABC Realty. Your 5-bedroom home has so much value. Start with that line. And it works like a charm, but these are programs that not too many people are even aware that you have to work with. People that are new are always going to say, oh man, I hope somebody calls me. I hope somebody does something. You keep waiting all you want, but there is a program waiting for you called Imapp that can actually help you at this moment and not in a future date. I'm going to go back to new search over here. And this one is very, very interesting. There are a lot of people that love to do farming. But when you do a farming, people think that you're going to be sending a letter to everybody to see if somebody wants to talk to you about selling their home. Well, let me show you how to go anywhere and find people who have not sold their home within the last 10 to 15 years. Imagine that home is there. They have a lot of equity, but they have no clue what the market value is at this moment. To do this, I'm going to go back to my tax search. I am going to take you now to Broward, and I'm going to select Broward County because if I can do it in Broward, I can also do it in Dade County. Now, this one is a little bit tricky, so I hope you follow me. The first thing is, where am I going? There's a place in Broward called Hollywood Hills. But Hollywood Hills also has Hollywood Hills Section 5, Hollywood Hills Section 17, Hollywood Hills Section 29. What would happen if I do not want 5, 17, or 29? I just want Hollywood Hills. The answer is the operator. I'll show you how to work with that. First, I'm going to click on subdivision so I can find the one I really want called input. Then the operator, don't leave it with starts with, it will give you everything. But if you say equal to, it will now allow you to type in Hollywood Hills. As I'm typing Hollywood Hills, notice how the program is telling you how many Hollywood Hills there are out there. I am now going to click outside, and I am going to show you how many units there are just in Hollywood Hills. I'm going to click in the bottom where it says Start Search. I got 3,300 275. I am never in my life going to send 3,000 letters. But the answer is, I do not want everybody. I only want people who have not sold their homes within the last 10 to 15 years. Let me show you how to do that. How do I go back without killing myself? Refine this search. As he takes me back, the first attack is called sale date. That is the first attack. You're going to notice that the operator says greater than. That is perfect. But look at the time period that I am going to give it. 10/10/1999. I am starting from that time period forward. And again, I'm now going to come to the bottom of the word sale date, and I'm going to click again because I need to use the same word, sale date. Here, you will notice that I am going up, greater than. I am now going to go down, and I'm going to click and say less than or equal to, and look at the time period. I'm going to give it 10/10/2010. You could have put 2015. You could have put 2016. You can put any date you like. But always remember, one has to go up, greater, and the other one has to say less than. Now, say, should I put a dot on this one? No. Sale date is the only one that you can use twice, and you never have to put that because you're never saying, I want to do this or I want to do that. No, you want to go up and go down. The next thing over here is this. Sale price. You do not want to see a sale price with a 0, with a $10, or with $100. That means quitclaim, probate, or clerk, or sheriff deed. I want to know how much money they paid for that property. So what you do is you click right here where it says property use code and look for the word sale price. And the operator cannot say equal to because you're going to die. It has to say greater than. And to avoid 0, 10, or $100, you put 500. What does that mean? $500. You want to see anything that was sold from $500 or greater. You will never see a 0, 10, or $100. The other word that is very important is called market value. I'm going to click, and right here I'm going to look for the word market value. Once I find market value, I always tell people, don't leave the operator with the word equal. It has to say greater than, and I'm going to make it 275,000. So now, my friend, I have told the program when I go to Hollywood Hills, give me only the properties that have not sold from this time period. Make sure they don't have a 0, 10, or $100 in the sale price, but make sure that the market value of that property is greater than 275. So now when you say start search, remember you had 3,000 listings. How many that he found for you at this moment? 453. Did you know that this program gives you the power to see their telephone numbers? Anytime you want to see their telephone number, all you have to click on download result. And right here, select phone. See, you need to click on the word phone. Come down to the word start download, and the system will now give you this. This program is called Excel. If you have Microsoft Word, 99% of the people have Excel, and it will show you when you click in the bottom left, the word phone list, it will give you your Excel program. And my Excel program is opening, and behold, these are all the names of the people and their telephone number. Some of you are going to say, why some are empty? What happens when somebody has been put into the do not call list? Imapp took them out already, and these are the people that you can call. This is a fantastic program. I definitely hope you come to my classes. I'm going to come to the top and click on my little X up here, and I am going to come back again to my search result so I can go back to the list of the property. Would you like to know how much money they paid for the home when they first bought it? All you had to do is click on this little box at the top, and the word that you're looking for is called Sale Price Ascending. Sale Price Ascending will show you how much money they paid for that particular home. Can you buy a home right now in Hollywood Hills for $10,000? Not today and not tomorrow. But the reason you're seeing that number is because you told it you do not want to see a zero, $10, or $100. Now, Sam, how do you save all of this if I cannot finish this? Here's your answer. Save this search is on your right-hand side of the screen. It always gives you the ability to give it a name. Don't call it my happy search. Why don't you call it Hollywood Hills Not Sold 1999 and put today's date in it? So again, I'm going to do that. And again, the whole idea here is for you to put the date that you want on it. And once you say save over here, it will now save it forever. And when you click on the top, some of you are going to ask me, how do you find it tomorrow? How do you find it anytime? I'm going to click at the top where it says new search. And as soon as you say new search, see how everything is gone? But isn't there something up here called my saved searches? And all you got to do is point to it, and it will give you a list of everything you have done. And every time you want it back, click on it, and it will allow you to go back to that particular thing. And again, folks, as I said before, this is a beautiful, beautiful program. I really, really hope you go to my classes. It's called Imapp. And I really want to thank all of you for your patience, for your time. And above all, I want to thank you for being a Miami member. Hope to see you in my classes. Thank you.